Five, four, three, two, one. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, we're going to start with something nutty, as usual. And here we go. Let's see over here. Join the club. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, in the interest of the 4th of July, I did this following thing here. And you'll see me in there double, which I'll try to get, see if I can get rid of. I'm not sure if I can or not. It doesn't usually work because it doesn't know how to do things like that. But anyway, this was a shot. Yeah, and see, no matter what I do, it doesn't get rid of me. That's from YouTube. I can't get rid of it. I could maybe do full screen. No, that won't work either. That'll knock both of me out. But anyway, let's just play it and see what happens, okay? Star Spangled Banner as played on targets. And then they juice it up again. Shotguns. So if you haven't tried Black Rifle Coffee, you might want to look them up. And it's a very diverse group. Anyway, enough of that. You can go back and look at that one up. So I decided, okay, let's go get some Black Rifle Coffee, right? So I went to their website. Here's their website, and they've got lots of interesting features, a lot of personality here. And I bought the JB, just black. Don't know what that means. I have not tasted it yet. So we're going to have the unboxing here today. And but I got that, and that's a new release apparently. Oh, or something. I don't know what. It's a fancy bag. And I just wanted to say that here's a question about which is better, Army sniper or U.S. Marine Scout sniper? Who's the sharpest shooter? I know that there are snipers that go across different military branches, and those are the best, because I had a friend who was one. Anyway, and he beat everybody, and he always did. But he had a sad ending. Anyway, so here's the bag. Let's go back to the cam. Here's the bag. I got the bag. It's got a fancy opening. You got to figure this out. And then it has a resealable thingy, which is too small to get my scooper in really comfortably. So that's not my favorite. Here's the box. Here's the box with a snake on it. I thought that was kind of cool. Coffee or die. It's run by veterans, you know, and so that was fun. Black Rifle Coffee. I know one of my clients, I think it was the Corvette guy, there's some offers in here. Always good to have offers inside. Let's see what this is. Okay, Black Rifle Coffee Company thank you card. John Worth from Woodworker Supply tested the thank you card, and it actually did boost response. Just this alone. In fact, he and I talked about how best to test it. Here's how you can do it. Ship your even, let's take the third digit because there's a little more even numbered zips than there are odd. Let's take you take your third digit of your zip code, 5-digit zip code, and you put a thank you card in all of them that are even numbered. You take your odd numbered zip codes and you leave it out. And you do that for 5 months or 3 months or something. So you get thousands and thousands of shipments. And then you go back and you've got 2 separate piles. And you look at the downstream profitability of the 2 groups. And that's how you test it. So thank you cards in the box, believe it or not, are valuable. Here it's an offer for the club. Excellent upsell. It's very expensive. Did I drink this yet? I don't think I've even tried it yet. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. Okay, here is a Black Rifle Coffee sticker that I can put on my car, I guess. And, you know, it might be some kind of a, given it's veterans and guns and coffee, it might be some kind of secret code for being a Trump supporter? I have no idea. Just making this stuff up. And here's my receipt and my shipping. Let's see if there's any messages on that, because that's also something that you can do if you've got a snazzy system. Let's see. It seems to be glued together or something. It's like, why is it glued together? No idea. How to make a return. I guess it's got a return label that it didn't mean. Maybe they do mean to do this. It's got some kind of adhesive on there. Oh, probably they printed it and it produced the address label on the box as they did it, which is an interesting technology. So there's this adhesive down at the bottom here. Or maybe they meant to do it this way. Just how to make a return. Wrong size, wrong design, damaged, wrong color. I don't know how any of those apply, so it must be a canned system that they're using. Okay, so here's the big moment. Dun da da da. It's pretty good, actually. I'd say it's better than my Piggly Wiggly cheapest possible French roast. I really do like it. Really smooth. I don't know why, but it's really smooth. Smoother than French roast, I have to say. Is it worth triple the price? I don't know about that. I'm kind of a cheap old guy, but you know, I'll say that's kind of my tacit first sip endorsement of Black Rifle Coffee, but I do love their website. You know, in an age where you can personalize so much, so few take any trouble to do a decent website that gives some validation to their branding. Mostly they're just static pictures on items on white backgrounds. It's awful. So thumbs up to the marketing, even if the coffee isn't 3 times better than the best, cheapest coffee I can find. But I do like it, and maybe I'll reach out to them and tell them that I like it. But I did pay for that myself, full disclaimer. I bought it myself, and this might become the official coffee of the 10 at 10 meeting here. Okay, moving on. He says, why don't you move on? Okay, moving on. Let's go down to the news section. Okay, this was an interesting. I had not been to the Wish site. I'd really not heard of it. And it's 11 billion in e-commerce, okay? And it says the fate of an 11 billion e-commerce giant could hang on its small business partners. Wish takes a novel approach to warehouses and fulfillment. Denim print bike shorts, $9. Mini crossbow, $17. I could use a crossbow. I just hurt my shoulder. My bike dropped yesterday. I dropped my bike. I accidentally kicked up the kickstand, and then when I let it back down to thinking that the kickstand was down and tried to stop it from falling over, oh, it hurt it bad. So I need a crossbow for this fall. And breast enlarging cream. Probably don't need that. So they have all this weird stuff. 11 billion in e-commerce empire. How did they do it? How have they done this thing? Well, the way it worked was that it's all about subsidies. Okay, and if you're not, if you haven't bought here, like you buy this stuff, you buy these little USB cables, and they're like $1. You go to Best Buy and they're like $20, and so I buy those. And I didn't think about it a lot here, but I bought items that are like $1, like really, really cheap headphones. These are really cheap. I got 10 for $10. Okay, really, really cheap. About a third of them or a half of them worked. Sometimes just one, so I clipped the other side off, and it's still usable. They're good for driving. Just have one in. Anyway, I make do. Did I tell you I was cheap? Anyway, but how could I get $10 worth of headphones for 10 headphones for $10 free shipping? Or how could I get a $1 item for $1 free shipping? It's like impossible. Well, subsidies, baby. Okay, Wish played the middleman between shoppers, Chinese manufacturers with shipping subsidies, and they let producers move goods to America dirt cheap. So when you hear that we made some really peculiar deals with China, that was one. That was how it happened. You could take advantage of the subsidies, but you're also building the Chinese manufacturers and shipping jobs to others. Okay, now the retailers seem to like it because they could get, a 50-cent item and sell it for $20. But you could go direct to China. But then what happened is, on July 1st, just this month, the Universal Postal Union canceled the subsidy bubble. And shipping costs doubled overnight, which still aren't that much. So I bought this flashlight. We can have another unboxing. See, this flashlight, really cool flashlight. It has a USB plug on the back of it. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, it's got a cover on it. There you go. Get the cover off so that it won't accidentally be lit up. Look at that. I mean, it's got a regular flashlight, and then it's got a really sharp, this is a tactical flashlight, and it blinks, which tries to immobilize your attacker. You may not know about these, but airplanes will let you take these on, but they won't let you take, like a .45 revolver or anything, or even a good-sized knife, which I used to fly with all the time in my back pocket. Anyway, we could have used a few of those on those 9/11 flights. Somebody else with knives. But anyway, that's not the normal way people think. So anyway, on July, so I ordered this right before my daughter's birthday, Katie, in April, like April 10th or something. Didn't think it'd get here in time for her birthday, which is 10 days later, but it just came yesterday. And I wrote to the manufacturer or shipping people over in China, and I said, it hasn't come yet. And they said, please wait a little longer. So I did. And they probably would have refunded my money, but I got 3 of them, and they showed up finally. So it's not working as well as it used to, and I don't recommend it because, China seems to be attacking us on many fronts right now. But they did have a good deal. We gave them an insanely good deal to reward our manufacturers. So now they're going to try and get American little businesses to inventory some of these little items, weird items, so that they can ship from America. And, so they get a container load full of little flashlights, and they gradually, work their way through them. And it makes a lot of sense. And it's sort of the American way. Little businesses get going. So if you're a little business, they're looking to sign up 100,000 stores by the end of the year. It may be also a way to compete with Dollar Tree and have some fun. Weird stuff. Anyway, finally I want to wrap up with this article. This is one of the most interesting articles I've ever read. I knew about this, but this was in a neurological publication. Okay, and in direct marketing, we always say that head beats heart. And by heart, we meant the emotions of your body. Rational arguments rarely drive action, whereas empathy and other things do. And it turns out, this is, fascinating stuff. It turns out that your guts have their own nervous system. This was unknown. I read in another article, but I'm kind of waiting to see how this stuff comes out. I read that your intestinal tract has more neurons, brain cells, than a cat brain, for example. Which, you think of cats as pretty complex, devious little things, lurking around and killing songbirds. Anyway, so it turns out that not only does this manage your digestion without having to talk to your brain, but it can communicate. There are cells in there that communicate directly with the spinal cord and do connect with the brain. And I learned something else interesting, that they said many diseases start in your gut, which you hear too from some of the nutty nutritionist friends you have. Maybe true. Maybe they're right all along. And they said Parkinson's starts in your gut, which I didn't know. And I'm going to look into that a little bit more. So anyway, there's this brain-like system, gut instinct. And this study published in eNeuroJournal. So not just some marketing. You learn more here than you will on an average marketing show. Professor Nick Spencer has identified this neuron in the gut wall that communicates signals outside it, near the spinal cord, up to the brain. Wow. So this means that there's a foundational truth to what direct mailers knew all along. Read Scientific Advertising at scientificadvertising.com. Download it. I highly recommend it. And it says the gut, unlike all other internal organs, has its own nervous system, which can independently of the brain, which can function independently of the brain. So we had this theory, that the brain is everything, sort of Neoplatonic thing, that your mind and your brain control your whole body. Turns out your gut might be controlling your body, which we always suspected in direct marketing. Just shows you. And it actually brought to mind a passage in the Bible. Something's ringing, but I can't stop it. Where I think it's in Mark chapter 10, where it says of Jesus, he looked out on the multitude and his bowels were moved with compassion. I think that's the King James. And in other translations, it just said, he had compassion or he had empathy. But the literal Greek is that his bowels were moved. And it turns out, once again, that the Bible had it right, whereas the science, assuming the brain does everything, got it wrong. I'm John Miglosh. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. Bye-bye.